Hi, my name is Irving Bustos, and this is my listening and speaking demo for TESOL 509, titled Listening and Presenting. So it is revolving around utilizing effective listening strategies to then transition that into effective speaking strategies in the context of something like public speaking on a specific topic. Alright, so we have a little bit of context first before we jump into the demo itself. So such as our objective, which reads, students will be able to present on a provided video clip, describing the main ideas and details. Next up, we have our class level, which is intermediate high, college adult, following the standards of California Pathways, the second language student in public high schools, colleges, and universities. And some of the focuses of the demo related to our course content includes things such as metacognitive awareness, listening strategies, interactive communicative practice, the use of techniques or strategies such as listening journals to improve, listening comprehension, speech, vocabulary, all those things together. And some of the previous sequencing that the students had done was watching a video clip about effective presentation styles and actually applying that to a separate presentation of a topic of their choice. So they had some practice with the presentation. And they also have been using listening journals throughout the semester, which at this point is about halfway through the semester or so. All right, and they've been using those journals to improve their pre, during, and post listening skills. So without further ado, we're going to jump right into the actual listening activity. Hey everybody, it's so good to see all of your wonderful faces again. Raul, Melissa, Jackie, Stephanie, Jose, Brian, everybody's back on this beautiful Monday, and we're gonna just jump right into it. But before we do, know that this is something you're familiar with. Presentations, yes, everyone's favorite thing. I know, Raul, I know how much you love them. But with a twist, right? On these presentations, you're going to be working in groups, and you're not going to be presenting on the whole video. You're going to be presenting on one part of the video. So each of the groups will have a part that they will work on and present on. Yep, I know, but we're going to do it in groups, and the main key thing is that we're going to be focusing on main idea and details. We're going to be listening for that, and we're going to make sure that we're talking about that in our presentations. Next up, we're going to make sure that even before we give our presentations, we are using our listening journals to guide our pre, during, and post. Yes, remember? Okay, yes. I mean, we do it every week, so I hope you remember, right? Okay, good. Any questions so far? Yes, I was just getting to that. So each group will present on their part of the video with every member contributing at least one time to the presentation. So whether that's about a detail or introducing the main idea for your part of the video, you're gonna each present, and if you don't, I'm gonna call on your group again until every single person has gone at least one time and said something different about their part of the video. Okay? Alright, good. I like the energy. You guys seem excited. I know. Hold on. I know you guys are very capable. We're just about to get started, don't worry. But first, remember, good presentations should include transition words. First, next, additionally, etc. Things like that. However, therefore, also, second, third, things that make it a little bit easier to kind of understand the order of how things happened in your part of the video and what was the most important parts, right? The most important parts. We don't want to include every single little thing that happened in our part. We don't need that, but we want the most important parts. And so that includes the main idea and the details, which we just finished discussing last week. We're going to review it very quickly before we get started, if anybody would like that. And actually, you know, we're going to review it either way to make sure we're all understanding what a main idea and a detail could look like, so that when we listen, we're ready to actually focus on those things in our listening journal, right? Good. As well, what we want to make sure that we're doing, even before we listen to anything or watch anything or read anything, is make sure that we look at the title, right? What can we gain from it? What sort of clues do we see? Is there something that we can use from there to sort of prepare ourselves for what we will watch and listen to? Anybody? Yeah? Okay, good. There's the word good. So we're looking at positive. Okay. Yes, there's the word brain. So positives for our brain. And then we have the word bilingual, which maybe you guys are all familiar with by now. Maybe you've heard it a lot. People refer to you that way. There's also trilingual, multilingual. What does that mean? Correct. Yeah, that we can speak more than one language. So we know, given that, it's going to be about why that's helpful for our brains, right? There may be positives, and a video like this, if it were doing a thorough job, might even introduce some risks of, you know, not necessarily it being bad, but maybe challenges or ways that it might affect our original language. You don't think it'll be stuff like that? Why not? Because it says some things that are good for our brain. That makes sense to me. You know, it might not go into any of that other stuff that I said, right? Okay, let's take a quick moment, write a super quick comment or question on our listening journals before we get started, just indicating some sort of response to the topic at hand. I'll give you about a minute or two to go ahead and do that. Okay, so once again, I'm not gonna get you guys started on the links just yet. I want each of you to take a look up here. I'm gonna write real quickly an example of what a main idea could look like, and make it 3 details that could go under it, right? So we're gonna do it about cats. I'm gonna say cats are great pets as my main idea. Sure, right? And then I'll put on the bottom, they are great pets because they are clean, they clean after themselves. 2, you don't have to spend a lot of energy with them. And 3, they don't cost as much as dogs usually. Okay, and those would be my details, right? And that would be my main idea up there. Good. Any questions that we might have about that? Are you sure? I see a fit. Oh, you don't agree that cats are good pets? Oh, you're just saying you prefer dogs. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. I don't take offense to that. That's okay. But, you know, it's just an example, right? Yeah. Okay. Then I think we're pretty much ready to get started. So go ahead, click on your link, get into your groups, and get to watching your part and filling out your listening journals. And then once we're all done watching our parts and our listening journals are filled out, we're going to get started on our actual presentations. Sound good? Okay. All right then. We'll get right back to it once we get that done.